special edition today. Look who's sitting here with me. It's Apostle Tony Brazelton. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I am so happy to have you, Dad, sitting here with me today on this special Father's Day edition. Today is Sunday, June the 16th, and we are so excited to celebrate fathers. I know, because everybody say fathers don't get their just due. So today I want to honor the man of God in my life and just pay tribute to the father that he has been. Also, I want to honor my dad. This is my first year celebrating Father's Day with him not being here physically on the earth. I love you so much, James Holcomb, and thank you for all that you imparted to me. So anyway, in honor of all of you guys, I want to kind of give you a front row view of my spiritual father and have him answer questions on behalf of fathers, or at least on behalf of himself. So Dad, how you feeling today?
I feel great. Really glad to be a part of what you're about to share with the audience. So I'm excited. So
Awesome. So I just have a few questions. I won't be, as pastors say, I won't be before you long. I just want to ask you just a few questions about fatherhood. If you could just tell us, what was it like when you first became a father?
To be honest, it was scary but at the same time, it awakened inside of me this thing called responsibility. To be responsible for my son and for him to carry my name was really a great thing for me, and for me to be able to be a better father to him than my father was to me. So there was a lot of emotions that went into that, but ultimately I was happy, just wanting to do for him what didn't happen for me. So it was a great time, but also a time that I need to grow up to figure out what that looks like and to be good at it. So that's what it meant. It meant growing up. It meant maturing. It meant being responsible. It meant being a better father than my father.
I love that. My father was very intentional about stepping into the role of being a parent, where he kind of took on the role of fatherhood even more than most young fathers in his time. And I saw that you did that same thing. You exuded that same, just this is my seed, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna do what it takes. And so I honor you for that. If you could think of some of your favorite memories of being a father, like I know that you and Mom specifically love family and you love having your kids around you. So if you could try to think of just anything a memory of just you being with your children, anything that you'd be willing to share with the viewing audience?
Well, when you're raising kids and you're being a father, you have moments that are really human. And there's a real human side to raising kids. It's the protection side. It's funny, I'm thinking of this thought, I'm very protective where my kids are concerned. And I remember, my child was being reprimanded for something that she didn't do. And I had to go to the school and talk to the hall monitor about it. And he was extremely difficult. He was wrong. Even the teachers came in and said he was wrong. But he insisted to punish her for something that she's not responsible for. And then the father came about it. Here I am, a pastor, I love God. And I responded in a way that I thought would make sure anytime he saw my daughter walk down the hallway that he would be mindful and he'd have to deal with me. And that's all I can say. Don't mess with my kids.
I love that. There's definitely a protector in you when it comes to your kids. So you're also blessed and privileged to be a grandfather.
Yeah, that's a great privilege. I believe that that we should be affecting generations. Our lifestyle should make an impartation, not just the generation that we're part of, but the generations to come. I think about my own kids and how, my wife and I, we got together and decided to give them a life that we didn't have. And so they would experience life based on our walk with God, our experiences with God, and then that would trickle down to our children's children. And we're still excited about some of our kids getting married. So if someone's out there looking for a husband, please come visit me. I got some fine boys who's looking for a so no, children are a blessing from the Lord, and we look forward to spending time with them.
I love that. So I think this is my last question. You're also a spiritual father, and so if you could just talk about what that means. And you father so many, from babes to pastors and even apostles. You father so many people with different walks of life and different variances in their spiritual walk with Christ. And so I'm sure that's, I don't want to say it's a heavy weight. I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but what is that experience like for you?
Well, let me put it in this category. I think that being a father is twofold. It's being a father physical, but it's also being a father spiritual. You are responsible for the spiritual temperature. You're responsible for the spiritual development of your children, and you're also responsible for being a life coach, is what I believe. So you end up practicing those things with your children, and then you grow up and then God gives you sons and daughters in ministry, and you just transfer that wisdom that you had developing in your own home. Because again, you are both their spiritual development, but you also their life coaching. So I love both of them. I love when my kids come to me and they ask me how to do life. And we talk about life on every level, relational life, personal life, financial life, their emotional life, and of course their spiritual life. So, and finance, money lives, so business wise. And so that's part of it. You coach a kid through those areas. You coach them spiritually, but you also coach them naturally as well, And so we just transfer that reality over to the spiritual sons that we have. We just take the wisdom that we have learned, the success we've had, and the failures we've had, because I really believe there's no success without failure. They just come hand in hand. So we take that and we impart that. It's something that God's called us to walk in, to be a spiritual father. And my wife and I think we both do that really well. We father and mother a lot of people, not because it's quote unquote something to do. It's just really, God spoke to us to do that. It's people need to be mentored. Just like you mentor your child, just like you're there for your child, you're coaching your child through life. Teaching them how to hear what is being said, not hear what they think is being said. You said that was stupid, and they think, well, you call me stupid?
Right.
And so you're just walking people through life, and you're just a part of that process to do that. And being a spiritual father, that's what it needs. A lot of people don't have a father, and they don't have good examples of what it means to be a father. One thing I would say to you that you need to understand if you're going to be a father is that, remember, being a father is playing the long game. You don't get the rewards of being a father until you play the long game. You spend so much time pouring into your kids, blessing them, but you don't get the fruit of that until the long game is played. And so satisfaction comes later in life. You love the idea of, fathering, whether it's spiritual, whether it's fathering, whether it's natural, developing, mentoring, coaching, life coaching. It's just the fruit of it and the joy comes up in the long game. And so when we get to look and see the fruit of our children, we get to see what they're producing. That's reward for us. We get excited about, wow, we see how you've grown up, how you've developed, what type of woman you are, and that's a blessing because it's a reflection on not just heaven's reality, but it's a reflection on us as parents as well. And I will say this, if your kids are crazy now, don't worry about it. They're going to be fine. My mother used to always say to me, she had a scripture that she used that changed my life. She says, as for me and my house, we're going to serve God. And because you're born in my house, you're going to serve God. And guess what? I end up serving God because of that very word. And I just say to you parents that if you have children that are out there, maybe not living the life that you've trained them and prepared them for, don't worry about it. As for you and your house, they will serve God. And remember, we're playing the long game, not the short game.
Well, you and Mom have been such, I don't even know, a godsend for me. And, I just pray always that I'm honoring you with my life. And you have seen me at what up until now may have been my best, and you've also seen me at my worst. And I don't know if you probably haven't caught many of my podcasts, but you should watch them. But me and my guests, we talk about you and Mom all the time. And I remember calling Mom one day because I was just like, oh my God, like rewatching one of my podcasts and just talking about the love of God and how it penetrates and changes you. Not so much correction, but just the love of God. And you and Mom have like poured that on me. You have poured love regardless of where you have found me. I remember almost kind of like hiding because I was ashamed of where I found my place, myself. But you guys, Mom's like, where are you? Where you been? Like, and just the way that you guys love me. You guys are just such exemplary parents and spiritual parents. And so I thank you for that. So I did that and I choked back all them tears I was feeling.
You did.
I did good. So my last question, today's Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
They say we shortchange you.
Yes.
What do you want for Father's Day? What do you want your family to do for you if you could have your perfect setting of Father's Day? What does that look like for you?
I'm going to answer that, but let me say this because there are so many people who don't have good relationships with their father. And I want to encourage you, if you grew up in a home and maybe you didn't have a father, maybe you had an absent father, he wasn't the kind of father that you wanted or you deserved. Listen, God knows how to make up relational deficits. And that's what the church is about. The church is about making up those relational deficits. That's what it means to be a spiritual father. I make up the deficit that your earthly father didn't make. And so that's why the church is so important. That's why I'm a spiritual father, because I'm here to make that deficit. So everything that you're missing, God has found a way to make it up in your life. So don't shy away from the church. The church is there to fill that void in your life. What do I want for my I love gifts. Gifts is my language of love. I was telling my wife that maybe I'll give me a 83-inch OLED color TV. I would like that. That would be nice. I would like to go on a trip with my wife. I would love to be around all my family. I love my family. I love to be around them. But I guess my greatest desire would be is for all of my children to really, really serve God passionately. I would give everything up for them. So that's my greatest desire.
Dang, Dad. Well, thank you for joining us for this special edition of With Love, ... Purple Prime Father's Day. Thank you for just taking the time to listen. I hope you enjoy and honor the fathers that's in your life. I pray if you don't have a father in your life that you would be a good father to someone, even if they're not your natural children. And because I love and I love him, I pray that you would encounter the love of God, that you would experience the love of God, that you would proceed in love, and when you lay down tonight to go to sleep, when you close your eyes, that it would be in love, because God is love. Peace.
I love you. Yeah. This is why I love you.